What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to talk about the cost of living in Cary, North Carolina. So let's get started. Just give you a little background on Cary. The population here is about 170,000. You're only maybe 15 to 20 minutes away from Raleigh, which is the capital of North Carolina. So the first thing I'm going to talk about with the cost of living is the median income here is about $50,000 a year. Now the household income is about $103,000 here. What most people do is they live in Cary because it's a smaller city and they commute to Raleigh for their jobs. Not everybody does that, but for the most part, most people are doing that, commuting to Raleigh.
Oh, really?
Really?
Even though I'm talking about Cary, North Carolina, I'll give you a little background on Raleigh. Raleigh was ranked 32 out of 182 cities for the best job market. And also, if you didn't know this, Apple is coming to Raleigh. They're going to bring about 2,000 jobs. And from what I understand, it's going to be six-figure income starting off at. And Durham, North Carolina, is bringing Google there, and they're going to bring about 1,000 jobs. Both of these are going to be, Apple and Google are calling these hubs. And what they're doing is just coming here because it's obviously cheaper to build their company here than it is in California.
So much cheaper.
Both these companies hoping to have their companies up and running in Raleigh and Durham within the next year. Possibly going into the next year due to COVID. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's very expensive to buy a home in Cary. The average price home in Cary is about $374,000 compared to the national average, which is $282,000. If you compare Cary to the national average on a scale of 1 to 100, Cary is ranked at 160. So we're already 60% higher than the national average. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is public transportation. Even though we're a pretty good sized city and we're right next to Raleigh, we don't have a subway here. We do have a bus system here, which is the Go Cary bus. This bus system runs from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and then on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I highly recommend if you are moving to the Cary area that you do have a car. Because not, you'll be using a lot of Uber and taxis and the Go Fast bus. The gas prices here range from about $2.81 a gallon to about $2.95 a gallon. And of course, that's of this date, which is August 27th of 2021. I forgot to mention this earlier, but with the Go Cary Fast bus, they also help senior citizens. They go door to door and help them get on the bus and get off the bus.
Fantastic.
The next thing I talk about is healthcare costs. Now, unfortunately, the cost of healthcare here is very expensive, just for the entire state itself. We are ranked 47 out of 50 states for the worst healthcare cost. Just to break it down to you, the cost of an adult and a child for healthcare for a month is about $930. For a couple with no children, it's about $1,100. If you're a family of 3 or more, it's about $1,500. So if you're wondering why is the health cost so high here, it's because a lot of people in North Carolina, unfortunately, are not seeing their doctors on a regular basis due to lack of a lot of healthcare providers. Unfortunately for you, if you're thinking of moving to Cary, is that we have the best healthcare in the Triangle area, which is Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. It's called the Triangle. And we have Duke Hospital and we got UNC Chapel Hill. So living in Cary, you're very close to one of the best healthcare providers in the world. So the next thing I talk about is renting a home in Cary. Now, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house will cost you about $1,300 a month. A 3-bedroom house will cost you about $1,800 in rent. And a 4-bedroom home will cost you about $2,400 in rent. But just be aware, these prices can change depending on what area of Cary you're going to live in. Next thing we'll talk about is utilities. So your electricity bill for about a month is going to be about $161. The water and sewer runs about $50 a month. And your internet, depends on what service you go with. I have Spectrum. It's about $50 a month, and it could go up to about $180 a month, depending on what kind of service you want and how fast you want your internet. The good news is Google Fiber is coming to Raleigh. And I don't know how far they extend out to Cary, but they are coming here, and it's one of the best internet services I've heard. And of course, also with your water bill, if you are on a septic or well, then your water bill will be cheaper, but just be aware that with a well, it takes an electric pump to run the well. So your electricity bill could go up a little higher, but of course, you're going to save more money on the back end with a well and a septic. The next thing I'll talk about is your grocery bill and going out to eat. So a gallon of milk in Cary will cost you about $3.20 a gallon. A loaf of bread is about $2.54, and a dozen eggs are about $1.70, $1.73. Now, of course, compare these prices to where you live at now and see how they vary. If you're looking to go out for a night of dining,
dancing,
Cary has a lot of nice places to go to. We also have some, of course, name brand restaurants that you would recognize, but I like trying out the mom and pop places. And for dining here, it depends on, of course, what you're going to get. But if you're looking at just two people going out, you're looking at about $50, $60. Of course, that price could be cheaper if you're not going to get appetizers. It could be more expensive if you're going to get some drinks, things like that. So take that into consideration, about $50 to $60. So if you enjoyed that content, please check out these other videos where I talk about moving to Raleigh, pros and cons of Raleigh, and other cities other than Cary that are surrounding the Raleigh area. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one.